I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the big metal detecting show. Hope you were all dandy this evening. It's got to be one of them nights, sadly. I'm going to go straight into the chat room and say some good evenings to everybody there at the moment. Good evening to Nick West, to Stephen Gray, oi oi. Hope you're well, Stephen. Darren Booth of History Unearthed, Bob Hope, my Auntie George, hello Auntie George, Dominic Tomczyk, Dzień dobry, Shima, Andrew Jones, hope you're well, pal, Adrian Gaylor, Cy Webber, Steve Gray wants Dave, don't know why, Dirt Diggers UK, Scott and Kimmy, they're actually in the field and have just pulled up hammers and a crotal, tons of coins, can't stop now, having fun. Good evening to Jim Crawford from Portobello. Nice to have you here. It's just kind of interested to see what's going on. Hope you stay. Where else are we up to? Detector Network. Good evening to Scott. Hello. Daniel Hunt, who we've just sort of confirmed as a guest for the near future. Just got to confirm that date. The Four Tone Searchers. Gareth Howard. Stan's Lad, Tom Trussell, Daniel O'Burns, Richie Goodchild, and Tom House Evans. Big finds and small finds are here. So good evening to both of them. So it's one of them weeks again, really. Weather's been up and down. Work's been there. But hey, tomorrow I finish for 3 weeks. And I picked up a new permission. Climbed on the back of my wife. We went to car boot sale last week where I got another fantastic book called Militaria Arms and Armour Price Guide, and it's got some fantastic images in there. On the way back, my wife wants to stop for some Cheshires. For you don't know, Cheshire potatoes are probably the best new potatoes you're likely to have. So we know a farm in the area and stopped on the way. So she went off and I'm just playing on my phone, and the farmer come back with her. So I said, any chance I can metal detect your farm? Of course you can. So I said, I'm going to take the little lad. And he was quite happy with that. So me and the boy will be going off in the very near future hopefully Sunday, if my car's back, because it died. And we will be playing metal detecting. So looking forward to that greatly. So what do we have this evening? Now, Mark, our guest this evening, is running a little bit behind. He's been driving long distance, so he'll probably come on in about 10 minutes or so. He said he'll be back for about 8:10, so he will be in the background. Luke will give me the nod when he's here, and we will get him on. Good evening as well to Gary Brunn, who's just entered the chat room, and Adam Staples. Now, Gary Brunn, as you know from Horde Hunters, we sort of spoke via the chat room last week, and when we got to actually talking, it became clear that the world is very, very small. For those of you who've seen the photograph of myself and my father metal detecting way back 43 years ago, that was actually taken where Gary was from, and Gary knows all of my sort of family name and the area that I come from. So the world became very small, but now it's very big because he lives in Norway. So Gary will be our guest next week, and I'm greatly looking forward to that. Yes, anyway, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, we've been working on some bits and bobs, and we're offering some advertisement, obviously, via the show and other means. So, Luke, can we share the screen? That would be delightful. And we will have a quick look at that. There we go. So, as you can see, I'll advertise the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. If you pop on over to the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine website, archmdmag.com, you'll be able to go through that. I don't know why there's two images on there either. That's probably because I've done something wrong. Anyway, so you'll be able to find out all the details. Luke's going to alter some of it a little bit because Luke knows more about advertising than I do, so he's going to modify this a little bit. But as of the moment, everything on there is correct. So if you're interested in any advertising, please go on there and have a look and get in contact with us. We will be hopefully evolving the show in the very near future. We may be streaming from a different area. Nothing will change for yourselves. Everything will be there as normal. It'll just be a little bit more fluid and a little bit more, hopefully, professional. It looks great as it is as far as I'm concerned, but Luke assures me that he wants to go to another platform which will make it even better. So that'll be happening in the near future. As well as that, the evolution, we're also going to be putting some form of survey together. We would like your input, the viewers' input, as to what you want on the show, what you don't think works on the show, and any other ideas, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, this is me talking to you. You don't want that. You want to find out other things. You want to have your input and say, and we'll try to accommodate as much as we possibly can. So, on to the weekly news. So, first of all, in the weekly news, we have an ancient Greek tomb crammed with gold, silver, and bronze is rewriting history revealed. This is in southwest Greece. I'm not going to play the video, but we will scroll down and have a look at the images. So, this lady is one of the archaeologists on the site, and the tomb discovery has astounded archaeologists. Look at that bit of gold there with what looks like a bull on it from here. And maybe that's a sword, I don't know, but looking stunning nonetheless. Multiple finds in there. Bronze mirrors, ivory combs, semi-precious stones, all looking absolutely fantastic. Look at that, a necklace that was uncovered, fully gold. Stunning. I think this is probably going to be Minoan, and luckily I spent some time at some Minoan sites in Crete a couple of years ago, and at the museum, and it was just absolutely stunning. Look at that. Hoards of gold were found in the tomb. Fantastic. Anyway, that was the first news article. It's the sun. I do apologise. I didn't know it was the sun. A volunteer litter picker finds an ancient Roman coin while clearing a fly-tipped car park. Chris Lyon thought it was a silver piece, he thought the silver piece was a euro or Spanish peseta. Lucky find, just clearing a car park and he finds that. It's mad. I know somebody who was actually walking along the road up in Buxton and found a Roman coin never been metal detecting, not interested in anything of consequence, and found a Roman coin. This was the Emperor Gordian III, who ruled England in around 240 AD, and it was found in St. Helens. So well done, that man. I should have accepted these before. The weird and wonderful things uncovered on Cleethorpes Beach in 2020 include a Bristol bow fighter and a Vauxhall Victor. Yes, there's been some profound things found. A nice shell there. And if we scroll down, we will see lots of other nice things. There's the Vauxhall Victor. And that's an RAF strike aircraft that crashed in 1944 that was uncovered on the beach. Mr. Evan Hart, if you're watching, you will certainly like that, which I'm sure you're aware of already. Go away. Not you, the listener, or the watcher. Army bomb disposal team detonates a World War II explosive device on Breen Beach. This is Burnham-on-Sands. This was yesterday, and the World War II explosive device was discovered by a metal detectorist called Dustin Morton. So he found it, he obviously reported it, and let's just see if we can play the video. Well, that was rubbish. What an idea found reported to County Council so far. So this one is the seal matrix, which was discovered by Andrew Deaton from Milton. And he found this while he was actually doing his garden. And it depicts St. Margaret of Antioch with the devil. Beautiful piece. There you go again, in full. Sadly, I'm having to scroll for it. And, what's this? A mini Roman axe was found by Dorothy Petterson from Stowe. That is absolutely stunning. The great privilege of recording something that was lost long ago, that was last probably in the hands of a Roman or Anglo-Saxon or Viking. There was also some flints and stuff like that I saw on another article, buckles and all sorts. So I do like that. That's fantastic. Lovely little Roman axe. And finally in the news, that was the finally in the news. It's back to me. So stop sharing. I hope actually you've seen that, because it doesn't say. I can't see if you've actually saw that or not. But anyway, nonetheless. Luke is our guest. If our guest is here, please could you bring him in? If he's not, I will carry on. Gareth Howards, he's actually in Cleethorpes as well, so you might want to go down to the beach, Gareth, and see if you can find any cars or planes and such like. Let's see where we are on here. Let's go through some more comments then. Steve Pettican's here. Good evening, Steve Pettican. Aaron Weedle, good evening, Aaron. I hope you're well. Brian Beckham, Detecting Apparel. Oh, Detecting Apparel. Now, if you are interested and you'd like to get in touch, I'm sure we could actually do a show regarding your products, perhaps. Give us a shout, myself or Luke, and we will sort something out there. And you may be interested what we spoke about earlier, being the advertising that we're looking at offering from in the very, very near future. I do have something else as well, something very important, and I've wrote it down so I don't forget. Happy 7th birthday for yesterday to a special little girl called Lacey, who shares her birthday with Prince George of Cambridge, from her dad, Matt, of Matt All Detect. I presume that's a YouTube channel. Matt, I apologise if it is or it isn't. I had a look before and couldn't actually find it. So happy birthday, Lacey. Hope you have a good day. And hey, you share the same birthday as the future king. What's not to like? Back to the chat room. Hello, everybody else in there. Andrew Jones says, we walked a long way out from Southport Pier in around 1981. There were 3 cars out there. A long way out on Southport. Mind you saying that, Andy, I went to Southport last year and didn't realise that the tide actually doesn't come in and how far away from the shore it is, which was quite profound. And I know it actually the tide only actually comes in very, very rarely. But that's something I'd like to see personally. I know it happens on the Wirral Estuary as well. At where did we used to go for ice cream? Parkgate only comes up very rarely there, so I'd love to see that as well. He says we believed one to be a Viva, so fairly modern at the time, less than 20 years old. Gareth Howard said he once found a Vauxhall Nova. Oddly, it was left there from ancient joyriders. Do you know, I used to love the Vauxhall Nova. My dad had one of them. It was fantastic. Anyway, we have lots lined up in the near future. Pomshead Metal Detecting says, the future king was born on my wedding anniversary, 31 years yesterday. Congratulations to you and Mrs. Pomsey Metal Detecting. Steve Gray found a bomb on the Thames. Steve, I did not know that. It's very interesting. Was it actually detonated or was it able to take it away? I'll wait for your answer there. Yes, we have a decent old lineup for the coming weeks, as I said. Yes, Parkgate is all marshland, Steve, but occasionally the tide does come in. And I know it's very, very, very rare. It happens like once every few years. Can't remember exactly what's what, but I'll let you know in the near future on that because it's something I'd definitely like to see. Love Parkgate, love the ice cream. They took the bomb away, right? Sad. Do you get any pictures of it? Next week, Gary Brunn of the Horde Hunters TV programme, which was on History Channel, and you can still find that out and about. I'm sure you'd probably be able to find it online. That was with Gordon Heritage as well, and it was a fantastic TV programme. Really enjoyed it. What's coming on now? There we go. Horde Hunters. And there you see Gary Brunn and Gordon Heritage. So Gordon will be on, Gary will be on next week. And I'm also going to speak to Gordon and see if he'd like to join us as well. So there he is. What a good-looking bloke. I have to say that because he's from my neck of the woods. The following week, the 6th of August, Mr. Gary Cook returns and we'll be discussing the Rodney Cook Memorial, the reasons behind why the event was cancelled and everything else. Now, Gary has had an absolutely stunning buckle up this week and I'm going to save it for that show. But I fell in lust with it straight away. It was an absolutely stunning find. So well done, Gary, for that. The 13th, we have, as you may have seen at the start of the adverts, Jamie Evans and Tom Evans of Big Finds, Small Finds Metal Detecting channel. So again, we're looking forward greatly to talking to both. So while we're waiting, Luke, is he there yet? And if he's not, does anybody in the meantime who's got access directly? Oh, we have him, Mark. Good evening.
Oh, mate, I've just had a right nightmare. I got stuck in traffic.
Well, it's good to have you.
And then my iPad won't link up for some reason, so I've had to use my phone.
Well, it's good to have you. I've waffled on about all and sundry, and you're here. And is this your man cave?
This is the man cave, everybody. Everybody meet the man cave.
Tell me what them shirts on the wall. If they're Liverpool shirts, we're going to be all right.
No, it's all MotoGP memorabilia and bike racing.
Right, fantastic.
Yeah. I'm not into them football Nancy's.
I'm from Ellesmere Port, and when I was growing up, I know it might not be your forte, but when I was growing up, we had the Ellesmere Port Speedway, and it was absolutely brilliant. Going to bed when I was a kid on a Friday night and listening to the sound of the Speedway down the road. Sadly, not there anymore, as most aren't. So, anyway, are you well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, just like I said, absolute mare of the day. The one day I thought I was going to get home in time and be set up and ready, and then got stuck on M3 on the way back from Sandown, so it's nightmare. But yeah, other than that, I'm brilliant.
Well, you're here now.
Yeah.
Can I ask, can we just try? Can you turn your phone to long ways instead of... There you go, that's better. Got a full screen now. Brilliant.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So, Mark...
Go on.
No, sorry, carry on. You first.
Just have a
I'll have a Aldi bottled tropical drink. I've been making too much homemade cider of late and testing it, so I'll just stick to the neat stuff. Anyway, it's great to have you, Mark. We spoke not so much as I'd have liked to, because obviously I don't know many YouTubers outside of the YouTubers that I know. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it's nice to actually speak to somebody who I've not got much of a clue about and be able to learn a lot more about them. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So if we go straight into it, Mark, can you tell us about yourself, please? So introduce yourself to the viewers.
Well, I'm Mark, Marky Mark Gone Digging, a.k.a. I've been... Are you there still?
We're here.
Yeah. It's just for some reason it's gone into big screen. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the full screen on the show.
Oh, okay. I basically I was a professional jockey up until about 5 years ago. And then when I packed up, obviously looking at other hobbies, and came into metal detecting, and ever since then never looked back.
Professional jockey, that's very interesting. Did you ever ride of anything of consequence?
Yeah, I won a derby in the Middle East. I've rode group winners. I've rode 250 winners. I rode altogether. 70 odd in England, I think it was, and my main winner in England was on John Smith's Cup Day at York. What else? I was champion jockey in Jersey. Not that it's a big racing world out there, but I was champion jockey there, and then I went off to I had sustained an injury, and it kind of ruined my English career, and I struggled with my weight a lot. So I moved off to the Middle East for a couple of 2 or 3 winters there, and rode out in the Middle East for 3 winters. So, and then suddenly one day I just weren't interested anymore. I gave up off my own back and decided that I didn't want to ride anymore. Now I just exercise the horses and drive the horse box. So yeah.
That's absolutely fascinating, mate. Fair play to you. I went to a school with a lad who he went on to become a jockey called Paul Roberts from Ellesmere Port. And you know, I've ever since I know he went there because I've spoke to people obviously after school, and I'd love to know whatever happened to him and if he actually got any winners and such like as well. But do you know, I when you say you're a jockey, I expected you to be small, and you don't look small.
I'm only 5'4".
Really?
Yeah, I am only 5'4", but I'm a bit bigger from what your normal jockey is. Generally, a lot of lads my size don't struggle with the weight, but I've got quite a stocky build, so for the size of me, so that's why I always struggled with my weight when I was riding. I was basically losing weight every day, so. Yeah,
I totally appreciate that. I'm much the same.
Yeah, but so yeah, and
you've got a fantastic accent, so I'm going to presume that you're from Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'm originally from Sheffield. I haven't lived there since I was 17, but I've spent most of my time in the south of England. So yeah,
where do you live now, Mark?
Newbury, Berkshire.
Oh, right. I know it.
So,
beautiful part of the world.
Beautiful part of the world, and that's why I'm very lucky, as in with regards to the metal detecting side of things, because I live right by the B4000, and it's all Roman. It's just 100% Roman around here. Everything you see is Roman, so yeah.
Now, let me just, I'm just going to check into the chat room because somebody said they can hardly hear you.
Hear me?
Yeah, so
I don't know what more.
I can actually hear you fine and dandy, but obviously
maybe it's on their end. Is everybody struggling with that?
Is everybody struggling with sound?
Peter True, I was going to be a jockey, but apparently I would only suit a Shire horse. Yeah, I think you're a bit long, to be honest, Pete.
Richie Goodshow, great show, Dave. Mark was the first guy I followed on YouTube. His channel is fantastic and got me into metal detecting. Found my first hammered last weekend. Loving the hobby. Well done, you, Richie. Good child.
Fair play.
Gary Brunn says it is a bit low on his side as well. We have a break in about in 10 minutes or so. Stephen Gray says the audio's great, so quite odd.
Let me just check my audio. Hang on. iPhone. If you're having issues, try restart the. Well, when we hang on, let me just get back out of that if I can. I can bloody get out of that now. It won't let me back out of it then. Can you still see me?
Can see you fine, yeah.
I'm stuck in audio now. Oh, here we go. Hang on, there we go. Everything. You know what? Things got meant tits up all the time. Whenever I'm doing YouTube stuff or something, I always drop something or do something, and then people actually wet themselves laughing. So
that was Julian Evan Hart level fantastic. That.
Yeah, but so what we do is when we have a break, I'll try and get it onto my iPad.
Roger that. And if you've got hands-free kit handy, try that as well. That usually works as well.
Where's me? Hang on, let me see if that works. Hang on. Oh.
So we're just having another tour of Mark's man cave. As you can see, we've got a dartboard, and
this is where I live. Basically, I've got my PlayStation, my DJ decks. Yeah, I live here.
And a nice Alaman flag as well.
Alaman TT, some Avicii stuff, PlayStation. It's just a proper man cave.
Fair play to you.
Right,
I'm in the
this works now.
I'm in the process of planning. Well, I can hear you fine and dandy. Can you hear me fine and dandy through the earphones?
Yeah, spot on.
Well, actually, you do actually sound better now, to be honest. So,
do I?
Right.
Oh, that's good then.
Let's crack on then. So, how long have you been metal detecting, Mark?
I've actually only been detecting a short amount of time. I've only been doing it about 4 years, I think it was. I have just been really lucky. Like I'm one of them people that I generally when I set to something, I get a bit. I have a bit of a addiction thing where I just take it on and just run with it. And the amount of hours, I think the first year I metal detected, I think the amount of hours I spent was just phenomenal. Like I'd be out most days till like 10 o'clock at night, especially during summer. Because bear in mind I do work a lot as well, so I basically, if I had any time in between work, I'd just go out metal detecting. So I spent a lot of the time my first year. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours like learning the hobby. So I just, like I said, it's something that I always wanted to do as a kid. Like I used to love watching Goonies and stuff like that. I'm thinking of finding pirates' treasure and things like that. And I think it's helped me a lot to adapt to it because I've been very lucky to get the permissions that I've got. And when you're finding good stuff, you automatically want to carry on going finding good stuff. I haven't really had that much time recently because I've been that busy working and with racing during summer. It's a bit of a pain, and which is not a bad thing because generally a lot of my permissions are pasture anyway, and I don't like to go out and ruin paddocks and stuff. So yeah.
Fantastic. So 4 years. We're gonna, after the break, we'll go through some images that you've sent over. You can chat about them, and there are some stunning finds. There's one in particular of a Roman fibula, and it's the patina and the colour. It looks like it was made brand new. It's stunning.
Yeah, I've like I said, I've off that one field, I think I've had 5 or 6 of them, and it was really weird because the Roman coins were scattered everywhere, and the hoard was there was a little area where the siliquas were, but then it was really weird because the brooches all seemed to be in such a small area. I actually called it the my mind's gone blank. The artifact area. I used to just go up there and I think I had about 4 or 5 brooches off that one area, and I actually believe when Sid came down, he had one in the same area as well. So That's Sid. Obviously, everybody knows who Sid is. Sid Perry, so from England's history. So if he's probably listening and trying to get some advice because he's coming down next week. He wants me to show him how to use a metal detector.
That'll be the same Sid Perry who won't come on the show because he doesn't know. Well, he'll clog himself up.
Yeah, he does. But then, to be fair, he's like me. He can chat away forever. I'm sure he'd be all right.
Well, you and Mr. Gray on our behalf can give him a bit of an arm twisting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So. It's took me about 2 years, but I finally got Alex Savage to agree to come on in the near future as well. So
yeah, I like watching. I love it when you've got like Sir Adam Staples on who are like really knowledgeable. If I ever send him a message and say, "What's this?" He's so good at immediately just sending some, and he knows everything inside out. He's with history. I'm not blowing smoke up his backside, but he knows absolutely everything to do with anything that you find. Straight away, he just comes back with an answer, and he's. So yeah, I'd like to say thanks to him because I'm always messaging him and asking him what things are and stuff. So
yeah, fair play. He does know his stuff. We had the detectival episode, the one I think it must have been about March, maybe April now. I think it actually was April to coincide with the unfortunate cancellation of the spring detectival, and we had the likes of Adam, Julian Everhart, Mark Betcher, Annie Biard. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Numerous other people, and we had a guy called Chip from America, and we were putting a picture of something Roman up, and the explanation and the depth of knowledge that he knew. And this is a guy in America who haven't got any Roman bloody history. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So fair dues.
He did actually. I can't remember what it was a while ago. There was something that I'd asked him to identify, and he actually went to this guy Chip, and I was like, American guy knowing all about Romans. It's absolutely bonkers, but. They know. They know the stuff like.
I don't think there's many people I've met in the past or experts in the subject of new mystics and whatnot who knows the Roman stuff as well as him. It was kudos to Chip for learning all about it. So
yeah.
What machines have you actually used in your 4 years detecting?
I started out with a Tesoro. I think I'm trying to think what it was now. Tesoro. Yeah, it was an old Tesoro machine anyway. I only paid about 100 quid for it. And the guy that I actually bought it off delivered it to me for a tenner or something. And then and he showed me some of the finds he'd had. And I was like, oh, I was buzzing straight away. So obviously I went off down the field here and found some musket balls and stuff like that. And when you find them when you first start, it's an absolute buzz anyway. Because I love anything like that, bullet, like old bullet tips, the lead ones and stuff like that. And then I moved on to Garrett is the 350, I think it was. Yeah, was it? Yeah, no, yeah, it was the 350. Then I went on to the 400, and then I got a Deus Lie, and I at that moment in time because I couldn't see a dasher out, and I was just starting out. I never really got on with it, so I basically got rid of that. And then I obviously met the main thing that happened was I met Dan Spencer at Detectiveville. The first year of I started metal detecting, I went to it on my own and basically got speaking to Dan, hit the ground running with him, chatting away, and he put me in touch with. Because I said I was going to start doing a bit of YouTubing because I loved watching Sid and a few others there finding stuff, and I thought it's good to show people what you're finding, especially with what I'm lucky finding, and then two, helping people with machines because I've helped in such a short time. I like to believe I've learned the Mind Lab Equinox as good as I can do, and I'm lucky to. I'm good with technology, so I think I just hit the ground running with that, and I've helped a lot of people, as in with settings, and they've always come back to me, and they've actually tagged me in posts saying thank you so much for the help, and I was going to get rid of the machine, and you've helped me with this and that and the other and what. So I basically got asked recently to become a detect-expert, so through Crawford's and Mine Lab. So I'm on with them now, and to be honest with you, it's no different as in what I was doing before, because I got a Mine Lab from the very beginning of Tony on, because he obviously he was the one that Dan put me in touch with, and detected bits when he had that. And he gave me a Mine Lab from the very first batch that came, and I've just had one all along then. And I've got a 540 as well to go with the Arsenal as well. So yeah, it's just Mine Lab machines now. But yeah, like I said, it's one. I think once you click with a certain kind of machine, you just get used to it. I've tried other machines, and there is some cracking machines out there at the minute. There's a lovely big amount of machines that you can choose from now. Whereas, yeah, but yeah, I've had a go. I've had a go with basically everything really. I even tried the Invenio at one point. That was quite an interesting.
I bet that's an experience, yeah.
Thing, yeah, but that take a lot of time to get used to, and that's a proper horde hunting machine. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm lucky. I've tied up with Crawford's and Mine Lab, so now I'm a bit I'm just a Mine Labber. But I'm actually think I'm going to start doing some days to tutorial days on some of my Roman landers as well, so they get to find good stuff. But I'm yet to decide what I'm going to do with all that yet. I've had to think about it, and I'm not saying I know Mine Labs inside out, and I'm not saying I'm a professional at knowing what they do. Like I can use one to its full potential, but I like to believe that I'm good at helping newcomers and with easier settings that give them a chance of getting used to the machine, because I've known so many people have got. I actually know a lad. My first Nox I got rid of, and this is I think it was the first year I had it. And I went back to the Quest Pro machine for a bit, and the lad that bought it off me used it for a bit, and I set him up with some settings, and he didn't like it, and he got rid of it. And then I obviously got back on the Nox again, and then he actually messaged me one day and said, "Can you get me a Nox?" And I put him in touch with Tony, and then he ended up buying another Nox again. So, yeah.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Of all the machines that I've had, the one that I most regret getting rid of was the Mine Lab Xterra 705. It's until recently when I got a different machine, a new machine. I bonded with that like no other. Luke actually rang me the other day. He said, "Are you still after an E-Track?" I went, No, mate. I was at a Xterra 705 was the one I had. Oh, I thought it was an E-Track. I went, No, I had the E-Track, and I couldn't get my head around that. That was far too in depth. It's just popped on the screen. Good evening, John Clayton. A little story that he's added. In 1986, and I remember this, John, because I'm from Ellesmere Port, Chester Racecourse stand burnt down. The night soil under the stands were put on some fields in Poulton, Doddleston. There were loads of gold sovereigns all over the farmer's field there too. They had the permission there until Time Team found a monastery on the land, and then they were not allowed back on there. Shame all the possibilities we could have done. Fantastic little
I saw a story there the other day as well, and this is regarding race courses. Chelmsford Racecourse got some topsoil in because they've basically just made a new turf course around the inside. God forbid the poor lads that are going to have to ride around there, because it's already tight around the all-weather surface. But that's not the stuff. But they basically put new topsoil in, and to make sure that there was no metal in the topsoil because it come from a local source, they got a load of detectorists from Chelmsford area, a club or something, and they went on there and scoured went around the whole new turf that's been put in, or the new dirt that's been put in, and got all the iron out. And whilst finding it, they were finding loads of Roman coins. They found tons of Roman coins as well.
I saw that, and sadly, because it's obviously topsoil that's been brought there, it's completely out of context. So, Adrian Gaylor said,
cheeky sods, they could have asked me being an ex-jockey.
Adrian Gaylor says, I was there detecting on the race course in Chelmsford. Marvellous. Do you know, when I was a kid, we always went camping and caravanning, and the amount of race courses we actually camped on. My auntie lives in Hereford. We stayed on Hereford race course, I think York as well, and Cheltenham. And I've
there
never
be a
been
lot
into
of-
horse racing.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on. You're all right. Go on, carry on.
I've never been that into horse racing. It's you know, I'll have a flutter on national or what have you.
Yeah.
But it's astounding, actually, being on them courses as a kid, being able to look at the surroundings, absolutely stunning. And I mean, Cheltenham was absolutely some beautiful views there.
Yeah.
And the size of everything that was there was quite mesmerising for me as a child as well. And I've never been back to anywhere like that as an adult to be able to look. So I like race courses.
The one race course you should, if you ever get the chance, I keep meaning, because I've actually got a lot of friends in Jersey that have got a load of land out there, and I've got an opportunity to go out and metal detect whenever I want. If you ever are in Jersey and you want to go and see something that's absolutely amazing, the Jersey race course is set right on a cliff top, and there's actually a castle on the top right hand corner. As you go around the top bend to drop down the hill, there's an actual old castle ruins on the cliff top there. It's absolutely stunning.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it's
back to Adrian Gale. He said it was shocking, the soil as well at Chelmsford. There was actually found a Commodore 64, but there was some great finds. But shocking, what was on the top, what was in the topsoil that was supplied.
And then that's why they've done it.
Madness.
And that's why they've done it, because the pure fact that any of them nails are out like that sticking a horse's hoof it could kill them or ruin them forever. Like, so
yeah,
they obviously had to take that precaution. And we've actually had some topsoil delivered up here recently to the estate that I live on, and the amount of rubbish and trash that's in it, it's just absolutely unreal. Like all lead piping and stuff, and it's just so dangerous.
The likes of farmers' fields that have stuff like that put on, it goes back to the whole green waste discussion we had the other week. The amount of stuff like that could actually injure a cow, a horse, or anything that's on one of them fields.
Exactly, yeah. So, I've just realised how bad my hair is. I do apologise.
Use me that WD-40 behind you, smooth it down.
That's the wind. That's the wind hitting it as I was running back up the drive as quick as I could.
Do you have many site permissions then, Mark?
I'm not bragging. I don't want people thinking I'm bragging, but I'd say in all I've got about 20,000 acres.
Wow.
I've actually got a place in Pulborough that's got a Roman hill fort. It's called Park Mount, and the place actually belongs to what's his name? Lady Harwood, Guy Harwood, who was a really good trainer back in the past. And there's a Roman hill fort right in the centre of it. I have all these permissions scattered everywhere, and because I'm so lucky that I've got places literally 100 yards from my house, even the land I live on now, we've got about 700 acres. And during lockdown, I was so tempted to go out and just have a walk around the land that we've got here. But then because of what I do and YouTube and stuff, I saw how many people were getting flack for going out. And even though I was on myself on my own land, I just thought I'd do it the right way, not bother, stick with everybody else. Everybody else was wanting to get out but couldn't. So I just basically, just got the machines all dusted up, and that was it. So, yeah.
Right, we're going to have a break now anyway, Mark. A few adverts, and then we'll be back again. So if you want to do your hair or run and get a drink, do so.
You're all right then, mate.
So we'll see you shortly, everyone.
Do I just leave this on?
Leave it exactly as it is. The adverts Luke will run that in the background and then come back shortly.
All right then, mate.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Thankfully, you can't see what goes on with me in the adverts because generally I'm dancing to the nice music that Luke puts together. So, anyway, we're back. The big metal detecting show. Tonight's guest, Mark Lawson of Marky Mark Gone King Metal Detecting YouTube channel. Is that something about Mary hairstyle now?
And I actually ran back in the house because I needed a loo. And then I've come back out and it looks even worse now. I need it chopping. I've got to go up to my mates on Monday, so yeah.
I'll do it for you. Number notes all over.
I don't. I'd look like a right. What would I look like? Bald. I'm already ugly enough.
Right, I'm going to share the screen again, and we're going to go through some of the images. Well, all of the images. Now, they're in no particular order because obviously I don't know what's what. So we'll just run through in the order that I've got them set up, if that's okay with yourself. And then you can we could discuss the finds and you can tell us what's what because you'll be able to see them as well. So we are sharing onto the finds. So this is the first image that's popped up. Tell us about that one.
Oh, George II, I think, isn't it? It's I actually, you know what, that was actually my favourite find. Or one of my favourite finds because the coin itself is absolutely. It's like it had just been minted, rather just with a darker, a patina obviously to it. But that was one of my best finds because it's just absolutely immaculate. It's a gorgeous coin, and I do actually find a lot of them George coins. I'm actually next week. Sid and Stephen Gray are going to come down for a day with Phil Fragg as well, and I'm going to take them on the Horde site to see if we can winkle any more goodies out there. I've never really used Field 2 with the Knox, so basically I'm going to run Field 2 on that site for the day and see if it makes any difference. But this between that field and here, that's another little small field. It's only about 3 acres. But I've had so many like stuff like World War II soldiers lighters and I've had some really I've had Roman, medieval, Saxon. I've had everything out. It's really weird. It's just one of them weird fields, and it's such a small field. I actually recall Dan Spencer. He had the last time where I actually went out with him on it, and he actually had 4 Vicky Silvers, like the Maundy set, and they were all stuck together and been made into a brooch, and it was absolutely stunning.
Wow.
Yes, so that's I'm aiming to try and get the boys on that next week, but yeah, that's it. Oh, that's the
fantastic
Samian wear you know what, I've got a little bit. Well, I haven't got a bit weird, but I've gone a bit strange with the 2 sites I've got at the minute. I've got loads of pottery, and when I actually dig now, if it's just a grotty Roman or a bit of pottery like that, I'd rather find a bit of pottery.
Yeah,
because there's bits of pottery everywhere. It's just the whole place, like every target you dig, there's Roman pottery, and sounds like a fantastic location. Yeah, it's just gone a little bit quiet on us, but you know, different days, different. I still believe when I founded the Horde of Siliquas, I was hoping that somewhere deeper down there was an actual pot full of them in my head, and we never got around to that. And it did seem that it just was scattered. But the last time we went up there, the last time I actually went up there, I took Sid and his mate. I'm trying to think his relation. And we had a really good day out. I'm trying to think of his name now. I feel really bad. But yeah, and they found an extra, because I said to Sid found an extra 2 Siliquas that day. And then, what's his name? That's going to wreck my head now. So anyway, yeah, he found one as well. And they were absolutely buzzing. But obviously, because they had to go to the Horde, that's the way it was. But they found some Roman bronze and stuff. And I actually said to Sid that day, I said, I must be a crap detectorist if I've missed them. And he was like, but then when I was digging the Siliquas that I dug 24 altogether.
Right.
When I was digging them, some of them targets were literally one way, and it was just the faintest of squeaks, and I was digging down, and they were just popping out, and then I was getting a nice clean target.
I will come to the images of the silica show.
Yes, but yeah, we're on.
So
about
this is a lovely one.
I run with things. This is another field. This field is actually only 100 yards down the road, and I've had loads of what they called jettons. I've had loads of jettons off there. I had my first, and it was only recently. I had a part of Ampula, old Ampula. I've had some silver Vickies off there, a couple of Romans, which was really weird. I was like, what are Roman coins doing in this field? Because everything seems to be around the medieval era. I've had
So what are we looking at here, Mark?
That's part of an old horse. We believe it's a medieval horse mount. And I actually believe I found the other part that actually it mounted onto, and it was like a small little bracket with a little cross on it, and that was that had the enamel in it as well. When I put them together, it looked absolutely stunning. Yeah, so
that's a lovely piece.
I was chuffed with that. Yeah, it's little bits like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I get sometimes, when I'm finding Roman coins every day, I know people love to find them, and I'm very spoilt with them. Some days I just go, it's just another Roman, unless they're like a mint, and then But then when I find things like this that are out of the blue, and especially medieval hammers and stuff like that, because I don't find many of them, I get a right buzz out of it. But yeah, that's lovely.
I like this one.
I actually sent you that one because I found it really amusing, because
Go on. I think it was from one of my exes, maybe.
Yeah, I said that as well. I said, but I don't think the missus thinks that. The reason I sent you that one was it's because it's out of them same fields, and I remember the day I'd found all the other bits, because I'm one of them. I actually do it just to find stuff. I don't do it to. I'm not one that wants to sell stuff and make money. Don't get me wrong. I have got rid of some bits to collectors and stuff because I don't just want them sat in a box. But a lot of the stuff I actually find, I do actually put into frames and get to landowners, and a lot of the time I actually give it a lot of stuff to people because I'm just one of them. It's the thrill of finding stuff. I love the buzz that I get when I find something. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've got my own little collection there in the house that are my favourite bits,
which we will see shortly.
Yeah, but this is actually one of my favourite bits because this is the old Royal Flying Corps bag. This is World War One. They only did them for I think it was only, I might be wrong, but it was only for 1 or 2 years they had them, because then it became the RAF, obviously.
Yeah.
But the RFC was the old Royal Flying Corps, and that was in World War One times. So yeah, that they were only around for a short time. So that's one of my. I love finding because I was the biggest thing I did at school was actually World War Two and World War One, and it sounds really, really weird that I think it, but one of my major bucket lists is I'd love to find some Nazi, like a Nazi soldier's cap badge or something, because it's just the thought of what, like it's all, the war's finished now, and both sides had families, so I'd just love to find something that's German. Go on.
I've actually had 2 coins up to Reichspfennig with the Nazi emblem on it, and it's the meaningless in some respects because they're not worth anything. They're made out of something that's it's not a expensive material or anything. But finding it where I found it, I can completely agree with you. Seeing that's swastika, I know it's got loads of different meanings. It goes back centuries and centuries, but we know it.
But that was in someone's pocket. And that soldier, same as an English person, whether the Nazi old regime was, which we all know it was absolutely wrong on all, like so bad. Whether it's bad or not, them soldiers were only doing what the British soldiers were doing. They were having to fight because otherwise they'd be killed anyway. So
but it's madness where it was found as well. There's just no reason why the Reichspfennig should have been where it was, and I keep that forever because I really do like it. The fact that it is, something.
That's me. I like it. I'm same as yourself. What you just said there. A lot of the stuff I actually like that is in my own collection is stuff that's not even worth anything because it's just little things that of certain times. I have this weird obsession of finding spoons at the minute.
We've got a good spoon coming up, haven't we? A lovely silver thimble.
The amount of spoons I find.
Lovely little thimble. Some nice engraving on it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's whole as well. Yeah, that one. I found this one in my Roman woodland, where I've had about I've had probably about nearly 2,000 Roman coins out there.
Wow.
But this one, I found this, and it is by an old medieval church, and I found this. I actually did that to the land, although it's one of my favourite. It is probably in my top 3 of favourite finds. And I actually did that to the landowner because I'm one of them. Like he's got stuff that he likes, and I just went, yeah, you can have it, and I found it, and I've got pictures of it, and I show people it. But yeah, I loved it. I actually I've actually found a lot. I probably found 6 or 7 silver thimbles, but they've always been smashed up. That's the only one that I've ever found was in. Yeah, so all these bits are a load of collect.
Yeah.
The little
I like that one.
That is gorgeous. Yeah, that was late 1700s, I think it was, and that was really, really nice. The picture's gone. Where's the picture gone? There we go. The little votifax head was one of the very first things that I actually found metal detecting.
Wow.
I went out with Dan on a rally one day and I found that.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Lovely little. I haven't found a big one yet, though.
No, that's on my bucket list. So this is one of your display places at home.
Yeah, that's gone now though, because it just the man cave became a man cave, and I've just got it all in the little fancy cases now that keep them all safe. Because I think I use the method that Dan taught me originally, where wash it in deionized water or let it soak, give them a clean, and then spray them up with hairspray, because apparently that's what the British Museum use, because it draws out the attention in coins and stuff. And I had them in the display cabinet, but then still at the same time I was like, I was worried that people would start picking them up and dropping them, and so a lot of that is in boxes in the house.
You might want to have a look at, and I'm going to give him a bit of a pimp here, Graham Dempsey's cleaningpencil.com. They've got some new products out, and for cleaning and what have you, some of the things that I've got that it's come up absolutely stunning with his wax, and the cleaning pencils as well. And not a lot of people swear by them now, but you might have a look at them maybe.
If anybody's online that I've looked into it, because with the Roman land, you finally find sometimes you find that the soil can be really it clings to the coins. And I've actually got a Roman coin there in the house, and it's absolutely mint. And it's obviously got soil or something stuck to it, and I just cannot get it off for the life of me. So if anybody's got any tips to get that stuff off, I know this toothpick and whatever, I've tried all that. It's just I'd end up pulling the coin apart. I'm trying to find that one method one day where
it'll dissolve that bit of additional. So we've got are these all Roman?
Where they're all Roman, they're all off my hoard site. That's the all the stuff I've recently had back from Newbury Museum that was all recorded, and the siliquas have gone off to be. Oxford Museum want to acquire them,
right?
So I'll never see them, sadly. But the spoon was my favourite.
Let's go back. I know we've got another full picture of the spoon shortly, haven't we?
Yeah. Just carry. Yeah. This is my only bit of gold. Gold is evading me. This is why I think am I crap at detecting, because I haven't found much gold yet.
well, if that's a horseshoe mark at the top, then surely that's a significant find for yourself, nonetheless.
Yeah, that was. We believe it's because you can't see it in the picture, but the little where the nails are that they normally have in a horseshoe, they're actually silver.
Wow!
And I got someone to look at it, and I don't believe it's at all. I thought it was around early 1900s probably, but it wouldn't have been much earlier than that. But that's my only gold find, yeah.
So what is it exactly?
It's a old hairpin.
Ah, right. I'm with you.
Yeah. It had a pin on the end and basically like a little clip. Yeah. It might not
Beautiful.
have even been that old, but it was nice, yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
You can't
Bit of a
really see
close-up.
it's still even in the light. You can't. The little block bits there, they're actually silver when you zoom right in.
Yeah. Let's see if we can. That's the best we can get.
It's not really shot. It's not really shot. I think it's a crappy picture that I took.
Beautiful nonetheless.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm still gunning for my first gold coin though.
Mm.
But then I found these, and that's these. I found these over a space of about 3 weeks, and I originally did it. I went the right way. I actually rang the museum up and said, "Look, I think can we get someone to come out and excavate it? As in, because I don't know whether there's more, whether there's something deeper, and I don't want to disturb something."
Yeah.
And then they and ahhed, and then they basically said they didn't have the resources, so but they advised me not to get any more.
Yeah.
And in the end, I was like, at the end of the day, I've found so many of them. I'm not just going to leave them in a field where someone else can go and pluck them out. It's doing it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? So I just spent 3 weeks basically going up there every day. Found some really bad signals, and yeah, there's some quirky emperors in there as well. I think there's one. I'm trying to think what it's called. It was Valens, I think it was, and it's the one with a beard somewhere in there. That's. Yeah, I don't know what people think about it, but when someone finds a hoard, I've always just thought, when you find that many items, it's a shame that the museum won't just go that you can just have one coin of as a memory of the hoard that you found. Do you know what I mean?
And all you've got left is photographs.
And all I've got is photographs of them, yeah, and yeah. But I was very lucky to find them, and some experience. I literally I was having meltdowns 24/7 because I was just buzzing every time I found one.
Is that this star? Is that a spur?
Yeah, a spur, a rowel. Yeah, spur rowel. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's bronze. That was bronze. Because I was trying to work out a date on it. I've actually found 2 of them. I found a really fancy one, and I basically ID'd them at around 1700s, mid 1700s probably.
It's absolutely mad as cheese that your career had led to a hobby of metal detecting, where you're finding things related to your career. It's brilliant.
To be fair, when I do find stuff that's to do with horses and stuff, I always automatically go, that's just fair. So it's It's metal detecting is probably one of the only quiet things I do because everybody else goes, "How do you do metal detecting when you're so bonkers when you ride your bikes and you just?" And I'm like, I think it's just my way of getting away from everything and having a bit of a
So tell me about this one. This is another lovely find.
This was a Falera, a Bronze Age Falera, and I found that. We found that one day. Me and Dan were out together, and Searching Magazine actually sent it away to be cleaned up and looked after and preserved. And this is obviously like a mount, some kind of mount Falera wise. And it's obviously got enamel in it, and it had a bit of white that you could see.
Mm-hmm.
But we were out detecting one day in my own woodland, and I had the 15-inch coil on the Knox, and people still to this day, Dan is the only person that knows that I found that the depth I did, because the 11-inch coil, he had the Knox as well at the time, and the 11-inch coil won't find, he could not get a target, but when I got a target, it was there, and we dug it, and it was around 2 to 2.5 foot deep.
Wow. And
we dug it, and then Dan, a little bit further up, he found like parts of something similar. We never really got, to be fair, we never really spoke about it much after, because this one took the limelight, but he found something similar. And I still, because the woodland, I haven't been back because whenever it comes to winter, I'm always, these days I go, it's too cold or whatever, especially when I'm riding out and pouring down rain every day. But the woodland is like really peaty, so it's like you literally dig a spade in it drops a foot down as soon as you dig it. But there's just so much EMI in there, and a lot of machines can't cope with the EMI. We don't know we can't put his hand down to it. We actually thought there was an electric gate wire or something, but it's just really weird. And so I still don't think I've got to the bottom of that woodland. But like I say, I always seem to get new permission with Roman coins, and the new land. My friend rang me up a few months ago, and he said to me, "Come up to my house one of the days and go around my garden." And it's, what would it be? It'd only be about 1.5 acres, 2 acres. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then one day I was going up to see him anyway. And I took the machine up there. And so I set off around the garden. And the first target I got was Roman coin. And I've had like 50-odd Romans out of there in space of 2 outings for a few hours. So, and a little Roman spoon. That's why I keep going on about spoons. Roman spoon and a brooch piece. This was...
That the bearded man?
I'm trying to think who it is now. Who is it? Is it William or Charles? It's somewhere, and it is a coin weight, and it's around. Oh, right. It's around 8 or 9 millimeters thick, and it was that is great. That has got so much condition, and I actually had someone look at it for me, and they said they'd never seen the coin weight in that good a nick before. They usually wear off, and it's the back of it's really good as well, isn't it?
Lovely.
Oh, you can't beat a crottle bell.
You can't. Do you know, I've never had one. I've never had one at all. One of the viewers, Lee Hull's, had his first one yesterday, so I'm desperate for one.
About these. I was always wanting a full. I always kept finding big pieces, like huge ones, and there was always in bits. And then one day I found the bigger one right by a fence, and I thought it's going to be a lot of trash or a can or something because it blew my ears off. I found the bigger one, and then I went back 2 days later, and it's like buses. Once you find one, you find another, and I found that one about 10 yards away from it as well. So, yeah,
lovely.
I do
Absolutely
love
lovely,
especially when they ring. Yeah, just one of the many Roman coins that I've found.
Very lucky.
That was Christmas. That I think that wasn't it?
Is this the reverse of the coin weight?
That's the reverse of the coin weight. Yeah, I'm trying to think who it was now. It was I did have it all.
I'm sure somebody will say in the comments. Unfortunately, while I'm looking at these, I can't see what's going on in the chat room. So that's a lovely coin as well.
That's the front of the coin. Do you remember the first picture you brought up?
George III.
1806, they're always generous. It is the third. Sorry, it is, they float between 18. This is the latest 3-hour session. 4-hour session I had out up at that new
good lord
garden. I couldn't put my hand on this big lead piece in the bottom left-hand corner of the coil there, but look at all the lead that's below it there. And
keep it all and weigh it in.
Yeah. That's what I do. I do keep it. The only things I do keep is because I've got a bit of fascination for him is musket balls and the old lead.
Same myself.
Civil War bullets.
I really can't. If I find a musket ball, if that's all I find all day, it's a happy day. I've got a bucket in the shed, waiting to go to the scrapyard to weigh it in. Because it's
worth money at the minute.
Absolutely.
What is it? About £1.80 a kilo, isn't it?
I've no idea.
But the musket balls are like bullets. Like, don't get me wrong, I get a bit fed up of digging the 303s around here because there's an old American war base, so I find a lot of them. But the old musket balls, the lead ones, I couldn't ever weigh them in because they're just they've been fired with a meaning, and I just get it's just I'm a bit weird like that. That is my first ever hammered, and that's my first ever hammered coin, Silver Lizzie. Lovely. Yeah.
Some great coins there as well.
Yeah, I went through a stage of getting a lot of the really light green Cistercius in the middle, the Hadrian, I believe it was. I found that at Detectiveville the first year I went.
Brilliant.
Oh, that I found the very first day out with the Knox, and everybody thought I'd gone and bought it off eBay or something. That's the problem you have to deal with on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can see by
the reverse.
Yeah, that's the reverse. Yeah, you can see by my hands it weren't bought off eBay.
You can actually see the soil within the recesses as well.
Yeah, people were just going, "Oh, look, you're getting attention because it's your first day out with an Equinox," and I was like, "No, but that's some of the silvers." Yeah, cracking out. I love silvers.
I need to get out more. There's that spoon again. Now this spoon, beautiful piece.
Yeah, that is just that spoon, right? I found that in the Horde field. Yeah. I rang Dan up and I said, "Look at this, mate," and he's like. And some bloke was actually taking a picture of my car at the time. And I shouted him over. I said, what's your problem? Why are you taking a picture of my car? He said, I work for the National Trust next door, and I was just making sure that you've got permission to metal detect there. I said, yeah, look. And I showed him messages off a landowner. And I said, I've just found this spoon. And I gave him a couple of Roman coins to take away because he was fascinated by them. And then I rang Dan up and I said, I've just had the National Trust spot me and whatever. And I've given him a couple of... And then he went... And I'd found a couple of fragments of silver, the Siliquas. Uh-huh. That was the very first one. And Dan goes, go and find some more. And then I ended up finding 26 of them. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Now, this is what I was talking about before.
That's the creme. That's the creme de la creme.
That's absolutely stunning.
I've given that to the landowner. It's in a frame in a house because she's an old Irish lady. Uh-huh. And for Christmas, a grandson said to me, I want to do something for my nan. Have you got some bits? And I actually found a old silver horse pin, like a tie pin. And it was actually his granddad's, and his granddad's passed away. And I found that in the field. So we put a load of stuff in the frame for her. And yeah, she's got all them items.
That's got to be one of the best condition ones of them I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They are. And
there's our spoon. See, this bit here, right, would that be...
Go on.
That part of the spoon there, would that click over the bowl so it didn't drop in, if you know what I mean?
I never thought about that, but I wouldn't imagine so because it'd be a little bit weighted, wouldn't it? To be honest, it's probably not a bad thought. I've never thought about it that way, but yeah.
Well, if anybody can tell me what this part would be used for me, as I say, it's like rest it, click it onto the side of a bowl so the spoon doesn't fall in. That would be what I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably I'm wrong.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's a stunning. Have you got an age on that?
Yeah, it's Roman.
Wow.
That came out right by the Roman coins, the Siliquas. Because they were actually contemplating adding that towards the Horde. But then in the end, they came to the thought that the Silicas were just scattered spill or whatever, yeah. But I got all that back in the end. That's. I actually believe, is that the right one? Is that the same one? I have actually got two of them the same. Yeah, it is the same one, but I've actually got 2 or 3 of them in mint condition.
Do you know this part actually looks like polished stone? It's that shiny there, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's mega, yeah. Only thing I'd say is when I actually left it soak in the water and then I cleaned it off, it actually almost came out like a pewtery kind of look afterwards.
Yeah.
I did. To be fair, I'm one of them. I don't generally clean stuff, so I left it as it was. I let it soak. I let all the mud come out of the springed area behind it, and then it just came out that little bit more polished off. Really, it's yeah, but yeah, it's still absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
And there's that enamelled one again.
Yeah, that button's lovely. Yeah.
And that's the end of our images.
Yeah, that's my favourite button. That.
Well, thank you for sending them over. There, some fantastic things in there. I'd actually go through the. I can actually. There's not that many. TC Detects. Good evening, Tony Kaywood. Future Bleeps. Dan Spencer. Good evening, Dan. Hope you're well. Look of the Muck Metal Detecting YouTube. Where else? I thought we'd all gone then. John Clayton again. Stan's lad again. Alex Jones. Good evening, Alex Jones. Indiana Tones. Has anyone found any Roman military finds, he asks. And hello, Gerard McGiven as well. He says it does hang over the bowl. So
there you go.
Thank you for that.
You're ahead of me.
What's that about? I got something right.
Go on, fair play to you.
So this is your channel. You've got a good subscribers as well. 3.65 thousand, 3,650 there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And you've been going on how long's the YouTube been going? About 2 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years or something. I don't put many videos. I'm one of them because I work a lot and I've got my little girl takes up a lot of my time as well. I don't generally. Sometimes I just want to get out for a couple of hours. But yeah, I've got. I'm heading towards 4,000 subs. So yeah, it's it goes well. I love when people message me with good feedback, and I generally am quite lucky with that because I do like to do the giveaways as well because I like if I test a set of headphones and then I get some new headphones and I just give them away. I'm not one of them people that just.
Well, I don't personally watch much YouTube channels. There's far too much.
You won't want to watch mine anyway. It's boring.
No, I'm going to. Do you know why I'm going to? You are a nice chap. You're very genuine. The finds you got look superb. I'd love to be able to obviously see more. And more than anything, you're northern.
Yeah. But yeah, to be fair, it's one thing I've always stuck by with me, especially with my videos. I don't want to make them look fancy. I basically got my introduction and then I just do a video because, like I said, I don't always have a lot of time. I do my videos. I make them raw and honest and anything I've never been one of them people that have just gone and got something and planted things. Everything I find and everything I've ever done on YouTube is generally true, and especially with machines and stuff. I like to think that. Well, a lot of people know I'm very honest and very straightforward, and I spend most of my day people messaging me asking what things are and asking advice, and like I said, with the new hopefully this winter coming up with the new tutorial days that I'm going to probably try and do. I'll probably have 5 to 10 people on for the day, and I'll probably I'm thinking about donating some of it to air ambulance, and I'm going to do some stuff with detecting for veterans as well. I've got a good permission there over the other side of the services here near where I live, and that's a couple of 1,000 acres. So I'm going to try and get that set up with the farmer for the detecting for veterans use because I never get time to get up there anyway. So,
well, for folks who don't go to your YouTube channel, what I said to Mark, we don't necessarily let YouTubers put their videos on the big metal detecting show group on Facebook. But if you have been on the show, we don't have a problem if you're sharing them then. It's just obviously there are so many YouTubers out and about there getting bombarded with stuff. So we're trying to keep it to a minimum, but we do like people who've been on the show, like yourself, Mark, to put your videos on. So obviously I can see where they are because I don't.
But that's how we got talking, weren't it?
It was.
Yeah, because I put a video up and you said I've had to take it down your car, and I was like, I get really like I feel like I've upset people, and I'm one of them. I don't like upsetting people, so I was like,
no, not at all.
Apologetic, and
it's a rule that we it's a rule we decided on some time ago because obviously if you go on some Facebook groups, you're getting bombarded. You're getting
it's same as my
what's the word I'm looking for? Spammed by certain YouTubers.
It gets over.
So we like to, we have Julian putting the treasure hunting stuff in there. We have other people putting their stuff in there. More than happy.
You should do what I do on my. We've got a Mine Lab Equinox page there. It's nearly up to 5,000 subs now. I think it is followers. And that what we did was we took the idea from North of the Tyne detecting page. They only allow videos on Mondays because I had this really awkward moment there. I obviously got on with Stephen Gray, and he's obviously had his things in it recently. And anyway, he put a video up and yesterday, I think it was, and someone's reported it to me and Ian who run the page, and I've seen it and I've gone, oh my god! So I've actually removed it, and then messaged Steve and said, look, mate, I'm really, really sorry. I've got to stick to it because I do it myself as well. I won't put videos up on other than Mondays. So I said, I'm really sorry I've had to take your video down. He's like, oh, no bother, you know. But like, even then I was like apologetic for for sticking to rules. And like he said, rules are rules. Yeah. And yeah, that's what we decided on. We went with a Monday, go with a Monday thing, because then the rest of the week you get all the fines put up and people asking serious questions rather than getting 50 people sending. And I've done it before myself. When I started out, I bombarded people's Facebook pages and stuff, and like I said, yeah, like luckily, like it's certain groups that I do it on now. I try not to do it too much because I've obviously got my little followers now anyway. So yeah.
Well, if anybody is interested, this show streams via the Reality of Metal Detecting UK Dirt Fishing. So that's the YouTube where this show airs from, which is Luke's own channel. There's also our own and I'm going to have to check because I can't remember what it's called. I think it's ArchMD Mag TV. I think. Yes, ArchMDMag.tv. That's our own. Luke forced me into starting to do some metal detecting videos, which smashed. So they're not the best.
They become hard work, don't they?
I've got dirty hands and I don't like getting me thrown out. Oh, I can't be bothered with GoPros and stuff like that. I'll do. That's fine. I'll do a little video occasionally, but we do have a lot of other things. Obviously, ArchMDMag.tv is our Netflix type TV station for videos and history, favourite for YouTubers, which now Mark will be added to because he's been on the show. Tony Kaywood's on there, Adrian Gale, and other people, lots of different things on there. So everybody's got something in the same place. Time Team, every episode of Time Team's on there. There's all. So, as I say, ArchMDMag.tv, that's our own. And the Reality of Metal Detecting UK Dirt Fishing, that's where this show airs from. So we usually try and get between an hour and a half mark. So we're coming up to the hour and a half mark. Is there anything else that you want to discuss, give mention to, or anything?
Yeah, I'll give a few of the boys a shout out, like as in lads that have helped me. Like obviously Dan, he's helped me along the way, got me into what I'm doing now and everything, and I'm lucky with that. So yeah, give Dan Spencer a shout out with Searchy Magazine. They've always looked after me. Obviously Tony Hunt. Craig from Crawford's, Mine Lab, yeah, just generally everybody. There's Steve, Sid, just all. There's loads of lads that I get on with now, and we're like we have a little bit of a community there, and there's going to be some cracking videos coming up soon as well. Because I've got this Sunday we're going to do something with Search Magazine on tutorial days. Monday I've promised to take my mate out who's got a bit disheartened with it all, and I'm going to take him out for an hour on one of my Roman permissions and get him a few Roman coins to book him up. Then next Friday, Sid, Frag, and like I said, Sid, Frag, and Steve and Gray are coming down for a bit of a play around for a day. We're going to have a drink the night before as well. So, I'll be having a drink. I don't think a couple of them don't drink, so. That's going to be a little bit different, but yeah. So we've got that, and then I think at some point Tony and Craig from Crawford's are going to come up and do a bit of detecting as well. So I'm going to try and get and do a bit. I don't do it very often, but I am. If anybody does know any good areas of beach in the south, I'm always willing to meet up with someone for exchange for one day. Like, because I'd like to go and find a bit of gold on the beach, I think, because I'm struggling to find it in the fields.
Well, I'll certainly point you out straight away. Aaron Weedle, South Coast Detecting.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure what beaches he uses, but he is primarily a beach detectorist, and he's had a hell of a lot of luck as well. So if you keep your eye out for... In fact, if you ask me and remind me, I'll introduce you to him. But Aaron's a great friend of the show. In fact...
He's got a YouTube channel, hasn't he?
I was dying of coronavirus. He has, yeah. When I was dying of coronavirus, he hosted. So, top lad. So, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, Mark. I will be catching up on your videos.
Yeah, no bother at all, mate.
Any tips for tomorrow?
Yeah, I just seen that. Yeah,
it's yeah. As I say, I'm pleased.
It's called.
Hold on. Pens out.
A Saja Magera. It's in the. What time is it now? Hang on, let me just have a look. 2 seconds. Let me just.
It's 9:30.
It runs at Ripon in the 2-year-old race. It's Hamden Al Maktoum's colours.
Marvellous.
I've been working that recently.
I've written that down.
My form's pretty good at the minute because my good horse went and won a Group 3 at Newbury last week. So.
So you're a trainer then now?
No, I just exercise. I obviously ride out in the morning and whatever. So, but yeah, the horse that I've been riding for the last 4 years, basically every day, he won the Hackwood Stakes at Newbury last week. So yeah, if people had asked me last week, they'd have had a good bet because it was 9-1. We backed it into 4s. But yeah, it's
so
called
the evening time.
Huh?
Right, I've got it. ASADJUMEIRA.
I don't want lynching if it gets beat.
Dane O'Neill and the trainer Owen Burrows.
That's it. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Paddy Power. Anyway, as I say, Mark, we'd love to have you back. We've got through a lot in an hour and a half, and I'm sure there's lots more to discuss in the future. So, as I say, if you're willing, we'd love to have you back in the future, and I will be looking at your videos. Give
me a shout someday. I tell you what to do. If we can ever get Adam Staples on and me at the same time, and I can show I can get some things up. He can ID them for me.
That sounds good to me. We can actually have an ID night where people should phone in. Well, phone in, you know what I mean? Come on the show and show them the finds that way. So yes, I'm brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure, young man. So
I'm sorry again. I'm sorry to everybody for delaying it, by the way, because it was through no fault of my own. But
it's okay. I got through. They only had to listen to me. That was so. As I say, it's been great. It's been really interesting. I'll be contacting you to learn more about your career in horse racing because that really is very interesting. I'd love to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Lawson, Marky Mark Gone Digging. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Marky Mark Gone Digging.
Marky Mark Gone Digging, Metal Detecting YouTube channel, and you will obviously be able to see all his videos on there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, for viewing the show, for getting involved in the discussion, and please come back next week when we will have Mr. Gary Brunn from Horde Hunters, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking to him. I'm Dave Sadler. That's Mark Lawson. That's Luke Higgins. Thank you all and good night.
Take care, guys.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.